Hedera is making waves. That's right. That's exactly what Stater said over on X. And that's something that I have been making very known on this channel for the last couple weeks and even months as well, because Hedera has been making some moves, very large ones as well. And, the waves that are being made from Hedera's side are really kind of, in my opinion, clearing a path for HBAR to become a top 10, top 5 project. And we definitely have to address this. We have to talk about a lot of these things because a lot of people don't realize how big Hedera is actually becoming in this space and how quick this has happened as well. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Let's dive on in and let's start off with what Stater did say regarding Hedera making moves. And we do see Hedera is making some waves from record-breaking transactions to major partnerships and DeFi innovations. The ecosystem is thriving. Here's everything you need to know about the biggest updates. Number one, Australian Payments Plus joined Hedera's governing council. That happened back in January of 2024. That's definitely a huge one. Outside of that, Hedera HBAR is a fast, low-cost distributed ledger offering tokenization of smart contracts backed by Google and IBM. It competes with Ethereum and Solana with high throughput and predictable cost. Hedera is expanding globally with initiatives like the Decentralized AI Society and Davos, 3 billion in tokenized diamonds by Voltic, real-time payments by Drop, and the upcoming HederaCon 2025, which, by the way, that's a huge event. I've mentioned it, before already, but it's definitely a big one. Hedera has integrated with MetaMask via Tomb Technologies, Hedera Wallet Snap, connecting the Hedera network to over 30 million monthly active users, and that happened back in January of 2024. On top of that, SushiSwap is leveling up DeFi on Hedera with a fresh feature just dropped, making decentralized finance a smoother and more powerful, for users. And also, Hedera is just getting started with adoption, soaring, a new innovation launching. The feature is bright. And yes, it is extremely bright. Why is that? Well, because number one, let's actually take a look at some things that are happening behind Hedera. Number one is the network developer activity report that did recently get dropped by Hedera Watch. And we actually have in the last week, total lines of code added was over 51,000. Active devs were over 60 plus, active projects over 30 plus. And also, 3 most active projects, Hashgraph Solo with 44, Hashgraph Hedera Mirror Node 41, Hashgraph Hedera Services 40 by commits. All-time developer activity on the Hedera network. Total lines of code over 210 million, 1,300 plus total developers, 112 total projects. 7-day developer activity comparison with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple versus Hedera, Hashgraph and Hiro or Hero, if you want to call it that, right? Top 5 core projects by lines of code added: Ethereum over 1.2 million, Hashgraph over 44,000, and we also have the Hero Ledger with over 7,000 plus, Bitcoin 3,900. We also have Ripple 1,400 plus in the last 7 days. So we could see how massive Hashgraph has, technically become from the developer side. Top 5 core projects by active developer counts: Ethereum 78, Hashgraph 48, Hero 20, Bitcoin 8, Ripple 6. Top 5 projects by developer commits: again, Ethereum 133, Hashgraph 44, Hashgraph Hedera Mirror Node 41, and then Hedera Services 40, and then we also have Ethereum Solidity 34. But if we actually look at this, right, like, it's kind of crazy, but Hedera is stacking up against Ethereum in a big way, which is showing us how, active the dev side is around Hedera. And a lot of these dev activities, you might say, well, oh, it's just, blatant, dev activity. It doesn't really matter. What are they actually building? Probably nothing, right? They're actually building quite a bit. In fact, one of the big projects that is building right now on Hedera, which we can technically, look into in another video, because there is a lot behind it, is hgraph_io. And we actually have here hgraph Enterprise, custom solutions for blockchain, AI, POC, MVP, data access, APIs, consulting and advisory. Founders, business leaders, and developers trust HGraph to help them build cutting edge products. And guys, this is one of those small time projects that a lot of people actually don't know about, but they are building in a big way and they're becoming a big piece of the Hedera ecosystem. And I think everyone, should pay attention to some of these small time projects because these are making some big waves in this space, even though they are small projects. Outside of this, also a lot of the ecosystem players, like for example, Hashpack, continue to expand, continue to upgrade, and again, these are creating a lot of dev activities themselves. And remember that these are core pieces of the Hedera ecosystem that actually enable a lot of what we do see around Hedera. Like, for example, a lot of the dapps, DeFi, NFTs, pretty much anything that you could think of on Hedera, these are like crucial pieces to that. So, very exciting stuff. And then, of course, yes, we do have, Sasha Swap with their, massive dev activity. We have a huge development update actually from the team over at Sasha Swap, and we can see the full breakdown here. It's very substantial, but we can see that there is building happening here, and it's not just random code or random dev activity. No, it's actual dev activity that is building out a very, very solid ecosystem, and I'm actually very excited about this. Now, let's talk about the real juicy news, which is the Boston Consulting Group. Do you guys remember that the Boston Consulting Group back in 2023 made a big name for themselves, predicting that tokenization is set to reach 16 trillion by 2030. Hedge funds, capital market firms, banks, tech giants, and startup founders are actively building with blockchain technology to realize this multi-trillion-dollar opportunity. You guys remember this? Well, this is actually very important because we actually have over here the BCGX, BCG's tech arm, is working with us on cutting edge Hedera based solutions. And this is from the Hash Graph. This is a massive, massive news announcement from Treasury talks on wholesale settlements for Europe's cellular roaming to enterprise use cases under NDA soon to be announced, all powered by the Hedera network and HBAR. Big shout out to Genfinity as well for this video clip. Check this out.
So for the past 3 years, we've been actually partnering, collaborating, and discussing a lot with Hashgraph, the Hashgraph Association team, on how to unlock this and serve this appetite in the corporate world for blockchain powered solutions. And we have actually partnered on very concrete projects together. Some of them are evidently non-disclosed. They are live, they are going live. But let me give you one concrete example where, funny enough, we actually won a prize together, which was we in the end, worked with two telco companies to look into, again, something very unsexy to our theme today, which is wholesale settlement for roaming. So basically, when two telco companies have one user or customer going to the other's territory and receiving phone calls, he's actually in the end not paying to that network provider, and so there needs to be a settlement of this. And so in the end, this is following a quite archaic approach to technology wise. And here, a single source of truth, what blockchain can provide, a shared source of truth, we found is a very interesting application. And we worked with two telco providers to, in the end, build a rapid MVP of a platform that would help there. And we could see significant efficiencies coming of it and significant, downstream opportunities if you think about shifting this from basically traditional currency-based settlement to something that is more stablecoin based. We had discussions with treasuries and our ongoing and treasury discussions about how can such a solution be deployed in Europe. We're focusing very much in Europe. There are only a couple of countries where there's a lot of cross-border traffic and therefore roaming activity. And can that be deployed here as an alternative solution to today's legacy approach for faster settlement, almost real-time settlement, instead of doing that actually on an annualized base based on records. And so that is a very interesting one where we went very deep into a B2B a theme of collaboration with Hedera and the Hashgraph Association. And I think that's a very interesting example to illustrate You can look it up. It's online. There's quite a lot of stuff about it.
Wow.
So that's one. I think another one, we have actually a couple of corporates that came to either of us, and then funny enough, we found out, hey, we serve the same customers, yeah, and we even have access to the same individuals at the customer. And so where we are looking into, is there a meaningful way where we bring together our capabilities, us as helping corporates to design, but then also implement, yeah, and also change the organization to make use in an effective way of new technologies, and then building on some of the um, you know arguably very interesting feats that the Hashgraph Association and Hedera bring.
So yeah, I mean, these are the types of use cases that have yet to actually hit the network in a big way, which is also why I've always said, focus on the potential projects that are under NDA like this one. And again, this is not from some small time company. No, this is from the Boston Consulting Group, the same group that has been telling us what's happening when it comes to tokenization, when it comes to this entire space, when it comes to the adoption cycle of this technology. And, when we look at the numbers behind them, this is, like I said, not some small time company. They have over 32,000 employees, 12.3 billion in annual revenue, and 100 plus cities with BCG offices in more than 50 countries. So again, this is not some small time company. This is a massive player. And when we think about that, right, they are here to build out some very solid, projects with one of the most efficient DLTs that they have studied. And again, this is a group that has been in this space for a while, studying this technology, studying the players that are a part of it, and they landed on Hedera. And also, when we go over to the BCGX account, or sorry, website, we can see we're building tomorrow. BCGX is the tech build and design unit of BCG. We disrupt the present and create the future by building bold new products, services, and businesses. Nearly 3,000 experts, 80 cities, 48 patents and patents pending, 30 plus tech and business startups. And they are looking into the next big innovation in terms of technology. And we actually have the power of resilience and tech, how A1 Telecom Austria is using AI to unlock more customer value, empowering insurance or on insurance leader through generative AI, data-driven digital transformation as well. So, they are definitely looking at the next big thing. And here are some of their focus areas: AI and generative AI. Here we have customer experience for growth. Again, you can see what they're kind of using here in terms of the tech as well, on what they're really kind of focused on. But this one is mainly around AI and generative AI. But there's a few things that they're actually looking into in a big way, like, for an example, tokenization, AI itself, generative AI, how we can, digitize workflows. Like down here, we also have, some of the other areas. This is like the artificial intelligence one, for an example. But they have a few other ones as well, like digital technology and data, social impact accelerator, and a few other things. But, when we're really looking at crypto or DLT and things like that, you look at digital technology and data. And this is where you actually have a complete breakdown of what they're really kind of looking into. And this is where you start to see the emerging technologies, which, we kind of look into blockchain and DLT, or even digital strategy as well. But again, this is all a part of one big push. And we now see Hedera being tapped in with the big players. And what's funny about that? Hedera recently did market themselves for Doge, which, we know right now that that's like the big topic. Elon Musk is really looking into a few things around Doge, not Dogecoin, but like Doge itself, in terms of the department on or of government efficiency. But we have good morning at Doge. In case you missed it, Hedera runs with the big dogs. And they did post the governing council because, again, they really do. I mean, listen, Boston Consulting Group is not just picking Hedera because they want to pick Hedera. They're picking Hedera because of all of these other players. The same exact reason why all of these other players have chosen to, become a GC of Hedera. They understand the tech. They know how disruptive Hedera is becoming. And just look at the activity around Hedera as well. It shows you that this thing is going to be a very big winner in this space, and Hedera has solidified itself as almost a blue chip player at this point around this technology as well. So with that being said, up, you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely have a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.